If you're a coach or consultant on LinkedIn, you've probably been told that you need to grow your network, connect with as many people as possible, send out hundreds of connection requests, and build a massive following. But here's the problem. Most people have thousands of connections, but they have zero clients because they've been focusing on the wrong thing, quantity instead of quality. But here's the truth. The size of your network doesn't necessarily matter. What does matter is who is in your network. Are they your ideal clients? Are they authorities who can amplify your message? Are they people who can actually become clients or refer clients to you? If the answer is no, then you're pretty much wasting your time. So throughout the course of this video, I'm going to show you how to build a LinkedIn network that actually converts. This isn't about accumulating connections, it's about strategically building a network of high quality prospects, referral partners, and authorities who will help you to generate consistent inbound leads. This is the same connection strategy that I've used to build a network of over 55,000 followers on LinkedIn, a network that generated over 10 million impressions per year just last year alone, and consistently fills my calendar with qualified prospects. And it's the same approach that's helped clients and several of my clients to build networks that have generated over 100 million impressions while attracting thousands of high quality inbound leads in the process. So by the end of this video, you'll have a clear actionable plan for building a LinkedIn network that actually turns into revenue. So you can see an evidence on screen here with my follow account. You can see evidence here of just one of our client accounts that had over 72 million impressions in the last year or so. And you can see another example of what that looks like here on screen. So these are all real results, real clients, and real pages that we own. So let's start with the core problem, which is the fact that right now you probably have hundreds, maybe even thousands of LinkedIn connections, but when you look at your calendar, it's empty, it doesn't correlate. And also when you look at your revenue, it's not coming from LinkedIn. And so your network isn't actually converting into clients. Now, the reason why is because you've been connecting with the wrong people. You've been accepting every single connection request that comes in. You've been sending generic messages to just anyone in your industry, and you built a network of random people who will never actually become clients. Now, the second part of the problem is that most people treat their LinkedIn network more like a vanity metric. So they just want to hit the 500 connections or 10,000 followers because it looks impressive, but impressive doesn't pay the bills. And what actually pays the bills is a network filled with people who actually fit your ideal client profile. So the people who are actively looking for solutions and who have the budget to invest. So here's the truth. You don't necessarily need 10,000 connections, but you need 500 of the right connections, because 500 ideal clients in your network is worth more than 10,000 random people who will never ever buy from you. So how do you build a high quality network? How do you strategically connect with people who can actually become clients? And that's what we're going to break down in the next 3 steps. Now, the first step here is to define your ideal connection profile. And this is where most people skip ahead, right? They send a connection request without a clear picture of who they're actually trying to connect with. But if you don't really know who you're looking for, you'll connect with anyone and everyone, and that's really the same as connecting with no one. So here's how to define your ideal connection profile. You need to get specific on 3 things: their role, their industry, and their pain point. So when it comes to their role, think about what is their job title or position. Are they founders, executives, consultants, financial advisors? Get specific there. Then think about what industry are they in? Are they in B2B SaaS, e-commerce, professional services, real estate? The more specific you are, the easier it will be to find them. And then their main pain point, like what specific problem are they experiencing that you can solve? Are they struggling to generate leads? Are they struggling to scale their team or increase revenue? Is it all about positioning themselves as authorities? So let's touch on a couple of examples, right? A generic ideal connection would be business owners who want to grow, whereas a specific ideal connection profile would be B2B SaaS founders at the $1 to $5 million annual recurring revenue stage who are struggling to scale their sales teams without burning out. You see the difference there? The second one is laser focus. You know exactly who you're looking for, which makes them a lot easier to find on LinkedIn. Here's another example. A generic ideal connection would be coaches who need help with marketing, whereas a specific ideal connection would be health and wellness coaches who have a proven offer but are tired of cold outreach and want to attract high ticket clients through LinkedIn authority. Again, the second one is specific. You know the niche, which is health and wellness, the stage, which is a proven offer, and their pain point, which is they're tired of cold outreach and they want LinkedIn authority. So here's the tactical exercise. I want you to write down your ideal connection profile using this framework. this role in this industry who have this pain point or desired outcome. Once you have this clarity, you can start strategically building your network with people who actually fit your ideal client profile. And that's when your network starts converting into revenue. Now, just to recap some of that, what we're looking for is the role, the industry, and the pain point, right? So now the second step here is to send strategic connection requests. And this is where a lot of people get it wrong. They either send generic requests and there's no message at all, or they're using automation tools to spam hundreds of people, which can just kill your conversion rate and can get you banned on the platform. Now, think about it. Every single connection request you send, especially during the early stages, there's a lot of value in it being personalized and value focused, because what it does is it basically differentiates and separates yourself. As your brand grows and expands, you find that you can, start to send some without messages because your brand itself can do a lot more of the heavy lifting. But especially when you're trying to get your name out there, get from like 0 to 10 and start to really get the brand going and flowing, you're better off just putting in that extra work to really help you to get yourself moving. So you don't just get classified as just another number sending another connection request. You're actually trying to start a relationship with someone who could potentially become a client. This is what the premise of Focus is all about. So here's the framework for sending a high converting connection request, right? So you'd say something like, hi, name, I came across your profile and noticed your specific detail about their role, company, or content. I've been working with niche on specific problem and I thought it would be valuable to connect. Looking forward to following your journey. So let me break down why this works so well. First of all, it's personalized. So you're referencing something specific about them, their role, their company, or a post they shared. This shows that you're not just sending a generic message to hundreds of people. Second, it's relevant. You're mentioning that you work within their niche, which signals that you understand their world. This can make them a bit more curious about what you actually do. Third, it's not salesy. So you're not pitching your services, you're not asking for a call, you're just saying it would be valuable to connect. So this can lower the barrier of entry to acceptance. So here's a complete example. Hi Sarah, I came across your profile and noticed you're a financial advisor specializing in high net worth clients. I've been working with financial advisors on building LinkedIn authority to attract premium clients, and I thought it'd be valuable to connect. I'm looking forward to following your journey. Can you see how specific that is? You're not just saying I help people with marketing, you're saying I work with financial advisors on LinkedIn authority. So it's relevant and it's personalized. Here's another example. You could say something like, hi Mark, I saw your recent post about scaling your SaaS company. I've been working with B2B SaaS founders on generating inbound leads through LinkedIn, and I thought it would be valuable to connect. I'm looking forward to following your journey. So again, you're referencing something specific, their post about scaling, and then you're positioning yourself as someone who works within their space. So here's a tactical shift. Stop sending just a generic connection request. Take 30 seconds to personalize each one using this framework. Your acceptance rate will definitely increase, and the people who accept will actually be relevant to your business. And a bonus tactic is to aim to send 10 to 15 strategic connection requests per day. Don't focus on sending 100 or 200, just 10 to 15 highly targeted requests of people who fit your ideal connection profile. Really focus on quality over quantity. And as mentioned, as you gain more brand authority, that's when you can really start to turn up the tap more so on quantity. And you don't necessarily have to have as much focus on this level of depth and personalization. Now, step 3 here is to engage before you connect. And this is one of the most powerful tactics I can give you, because most people send a connection request to someone they've never interacted with. But that's basically cold approach. The person doesn't know who you are, so they're just less likely to accept. So instead, what you should do is warm them up first. You want to get on their radar before you send the connection request. And the way you can do that is through strategic engagement. So here's how it works. Before you send the connection request to someone, engage with their content. Find 2 or 3 of their recent posts and leave thoughtful, value-adding comments. So not things like great posts, but actual insights that demonstrate your expertise. So for example, let's say you wanted to connect with a B2B SaaS founder, go to their profile, find a post where they're talking about scaling challenges, and then leave a comment like this. This resonates. One thing I've seen work well for SaaS founders at your stage is repositioning your LinkedIn presence to attract inbound leads instead of relying on outbound. It takes the pressure off the sales teams and brings in higher quality prospects. I'm happy to share what's worked if it's helpful. Can you see what you're doing here? So you're actually adding value, you're demonstrating expertise and subtly positioning yourself as someone who can actually help. So when they see that comment, they're going to check out your profile. And then when you send a connection request a few days later, they'll recognize your name and be much more likely to accept. So here's the tactical framework here, right? Day 1 and 2, engage with 2 to 3 of their posts. Leave something thoughtful, a value-adding comment. Then day 3, then send a personalized connection request that references your previous engagement. So for example, it would be, hi name, I really enjoyed engaging with your content on topic. I've been working with niche on specific problem and I thought it would be valuable to connect. Looking forward to following your journey. Now, see, this approach dramatically increases your acceptance rate because you're basically not a stranger at this point. You're someone who's already added value to their content. So here's a tactical exercise for you. I want you to identify 10 people who fit your ideal connection profile, then spend the next few days engaging with their content, then start sending your personalized connection requests and watch how your acceptance rate increases as a result. Now, before we wrap up, I want to give you a bonus tactic here, which is all about nurturing your network, because most people end up making this mistake. They send a connection request, the person accepts, and then they never interact with them again, which basically is a wasted opportunity, because your LinkedIn network is an asset, but it's only valuable if you nurture it. And the way that you nurture it is through consistent strategic engagement. So here's the framework for this. First, engage with their content regularly. When someone in your network posts, engage with it, leave thoughtful comments, share their posts, build the relationship. And this then keeps you top of mind and positions you as someone who's genuinely interested in their success. Secondly, send value first DMs periodically, every few weeks. Just send a direct message to someone in your network with a helpful resource, an insight, or piece of feedback. For example, hey name, I saw your recent post about topic and thought you might find this resource helpful, and then attach the link. It's helped a few people that I work with in your space. Let me know if it's useful. This positions you as a helpful expert, not as a salesperson, and it keeps the relationship warm. Third, I want you to celebrate their win. So when someone in your network shares a win, a new client, a milestone, a launch, comment on it and congratulate them. This builds goodwill and it strengthens the relationship. And here's what happens when you nurture your network. People end up remembering you. So when they're ready to invest in a solution, you're the person that they think of. And then when they meet someone who needs your services, they're more likely to refer you. So your network can actually become a client generation machine. So the tactical shift here is I want you to spend 10 minutes each day engaging with content from people in your network, comment on their posts, and then send value first DMs, celebrate their wins. And this is how you turn connections into clients. So now let's put all of this together, right? You've now got a complete connection strategy for building your LinkedIn network in a way that actually converts. So the first step, define your ideal connection profile. Get specific on their role, their industry, and their pain point. Know exactly who you're looking for. The second step is to send strategic connection requests. So personalize all of the requests, reference something specific about them or mention that you work within their niche, and just keep it non-salesy basically. In the third step, engage before you connect. Warm them up, leaving some kind of thoughtful comments on their content before you send the connection request. This will then increase your acceptance rate. And the bonus, remember, is to nurture your network. So engage with their content regularly, send value first DMs, and then celebrate their wins. This is how you turn connections into real relationships. So as a refresher, this is what this will look like in practice. Let's say you're a consultant, you help B2B SaaS founders, you define your ideal connection profile as B2B SaaS founders at the $1 to $5 million annual recurring revenue stage who are struggling to scale their sales without burning out. So you go to LinkedIn and you search for people who fit that profile. You find a SaaS founder, and over the next few days, you engage with 2 of their posts, leaving thoughtful comments about scaling strategies. Then you send a personalized connection request. So you say, hi, name, I've really enjoyed engaging with your content on scaling SaaS companies. I've been working with B2B SaaS founders on generating inbound leads through LinkedIn, and I thought it would be valuable to connect. Looking forward to following your journey. They then accept. So over the next few weeks, you continue engaging with their content. You send them a value first DM with a helpful resource, you comment on their posts, and then you start building that relationship. A few months later, they're now ready to invest in a solution for their lead generation challenge. Who do they think of? Well, they think of you, because you've been the one consistently adding value and staying top of mind. So that's the connection strategy. You'll see it's not about accumulating thousands of random connections. It's about strategically building a network of high quality prospects and then nurturing those relationships over time. So what then happens once you've actually implemented this connection strategy? I'll walk you through the transformation. First, your network becomes highly targeted. So instead of thousands of random connections, you've got hundreds of people who actually fit your ideal client profile. And every person in your network then becomes a potential client or a valuable referral partner. So your network becomes an asset, not a vanity metric. The second thing is your acceptance rate will increase. So by personalizing your connection requests and engaging before you connect, you're no longer getting ignored or rejected. People are going to start to accept your requests because you've demonstrated that you're relevant and you're valuable. Now, the third piece is that your network converts into clients. So by nurturing your connections through consistent engagement and value first DMs, you stay top of mind. So when someone in your network is ready to invest in a solution, you become the obvious choice because your network becomes a client generation machine. Now, this is the exact connection strategy that I've used to build a network of over 55,000 followers on LinkedIn, and a network that generated me over 10 million impressions, very relevant impressions last year, and consistently fills my calendar with qualified prospects. And it's the same approach that's helped many of our clients to build networks that have generated over 100 million impressions, including one of our clients that gained over 4,000 relevant prospects, followers in only 30 days, which then helped them to attract high quality inbound leads. So we know the strategy works really well, but you do need to be intentional. You need to define that ideal connection profile, send the strategic request, and engage before you connect, then nurture that network over time. And when you do, LinkedIn will become one of the most valuable business assets that you have. Now, with all of that said, the connection strategy is going to work very well for you, but you need to be consistent, because I know it's not easy while you're running the business. It can take time. It's going to take discipline. You need to go through that process. But if you do want to accelerate your results, if you want a system that actually handles your positioning, the content, your engagement, and the network building in a much more coordinated way, then you're going to need a full LinkedIn authority engine, a done for you system that will strategically build your network and fill your calendar with qualified prospects. So that's the approach. The same approach basically I'm referring to that's helped to build my own presence, and the same for our clients. So if you do want a breakdown of how that full LinkedIn authority engine works, including the positioning, the content, the engagement, and the strategy, I want you to drop a comment below with the word network, and then I'll send you all of the details. But even if you do just implement this connection strategy on your own, you will see a noticeable increase in the quality that you'll get. But if you do want to expedite your results to the type that you can see on screen here, for example, what I need you to do is just comment the word network below. We'll get that free breakdown sent over to you, and then we'll accelerate your journey to get into becoming a LinkedIn authority. Now, with all of that said, I hope you found the video helpful and valuable. Comment network below, and I will see you on the next one.